Hey guys, this is Uche Lawrence. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I hope that the content that I'm providing you is extremely helpful. Please like, share, subscribe, and also hit that notification bell so that anytime I post a new video, you'll be the first to find out about it. What's going on, guys? This is Uche, and it is a little after 2:30 in the morning. A little insomnia, but it's cool. Not a bad insomnia, but you know, when the brain is going and you're trying to get a lot of things done. But I decided I was going to go ahead and do a video, kind of a follow-up to my last video about my story on how credit cards, how I had bad credit before I had my first credit card, and the whole story behind that, and predatory type tactics that were used that banks use to get young people into getting credit cards, especially when they're not ready. The point of that video was not to say that credit cards were bad or that you shouldn't get a credit card, but the real point was really talking about how there isn't enough being done to create opportunities for financial literacy in schools, and even with parents, you know, to teaching their kids, this is how you use credit, this is how you build credit, this is how you use money. A lot of times it's kind of like multi-generational curses, in the sense that the mistakes keep happening over and over again. And in my case, my parents are immigrants to this country, so coming to America, money, as we saw it back home where we're originally from in Nigeria, was a little different here, because in Nigeria it's a cash-based system. You come here and all of a sudden you have credit, and something that, you know, my parents were not familiar with, and I know they struggled with, and they're in much better places now. But by the time they got to that point, I was already an adult myself, so I didn't really get to learn from them. So with that being said, it's very, very important that we are doing everything we can do to educate ourselves and also educate our children, and beyond our children, friends and family. Like, you know, we have to be on point with the way we handle money, so we're not spending, you know, years and decades stuck and not knowing what to do. And you know what happens when you don't know what to do? A lot of times we tend to become really afraid, and we ignore the problem. And I did that for quite a bit of time, and I'm thankful that I'm in a better position than I was before. But it was interesting. It didn't take that much time, and I think that's where I think in my last video I said I felt dumb, because I spent so much time hiding from the fact that my credit was bad, that I had burnt many credit cards in many financial situations, which put me in a position where it got harder and harder for me to get credit, to the point where my credit score was, I mean, I'll be honest with you, it was in the 400s. And the reality is a lot of us are there or have been there. And it seems like a daunting place to be in, hard to get out of. However, I know for a fact, if the work is done, and the work is not as complicated as you think, and I will be getting to that, into more details about the work in future videos, it can be done. I just want to take this time to kind of testify to the fact that the work, if it's done correctly in a short period of time, honestly, it took me 24 to 18 months to make the full turnaround. And what happened was, it wasn't like it was like a arduous task. I just didn't have enough information, so it probably would have taken me a little bit quicker than that. But what happened was, I just started, and I started with a secure credit card. I went to the bank and I walked in and said, "Here's $1,000." And yes, I had to save $1,000. Walk in here and say, "Here's $1,000." I got a secure card, and I had to manage that money and pay my bills on time and not mess with my utilization. And I did that, and I kind of left it alone. Just kept on doing that, and literally within, I would say, 12, honestly I didn't keep track, but I would say it was no more than 18 months, really, less than that. I went from a secured Wells Fargo card to a Capital One. Then from there it went into a Discover card. Then it went to an American Express Everyday card. And then the Capital One card went to another Capital One card, which is now a venture card, and from that $1,000, I went into pretty decent credit limits in the multiple $1,000s, so like $2,000-3,000 amount of credit lines in these cards that came after that. But not long after that, it just kind of snowball affected. But I kept on doing the same thing I was doing with my first cards. I was paying my bills off. I mean, things happen, but my goal is always by the end of the month, pay it all off. And I'll tell you how I built that discipline. It was hard because for a while I was carrying on a relatively large balances on my cards. I wasn't burning my whole entire card out, but I wasn't paying them all at the end of the month. Discipline started with that when I got this. When I got an American Express Platinum and the Gold card, the American Express Charge card, you had to pay everything off at the end of the month. No questions asked. Once I got into that habit, I realized it wasn't really paying at the end of the month. It was paying immediately. I'll make a purchase, and as soon as I hit my card, I paid it off. I got into a habit of maintaining zero balance, and that went into other cards. Sky Delta card, which is another American Express card, another American Express card, the SPG rewards card for hotels, Marriott and SPG hotels, and it went beyond that. It went into American Express Business, a Gold card, another business, and other multiple cards. All the multiple cards. And the reality is, in the span of 2 years, I've gone from having one secured card to 13 cards. And I'll tell you this, of those 13 cards, only 3 cards has a balance on it. Everything else is zero. Discipline, educating yourself, knowing what to do was the most important thing. So, I live by this mantra that I heard. I forgot who I heard it from. It says that it's better to have credit and not need it than to need it and not have it. Okay. Right now, I have credit lines in upwards of the tens of thousands of dollars on the high end, and I really don't need it. But it's there because life happens, emergency happens. But I have it on a business side and I also have it on a personal side, because on the business side, it's good to have. On a personal side, it's great to have. But it took me time to build that up. So with that being said, I just wanted to share that with you. In the future, I'll be coming up with more videos on my process, because I had to clean up my credit to get to this point. And that was not as complicated as one would think. It just required a little patience and just a little know-how. But with that being said, guys, please subscribe, like, share this video, and I hope this is meaningful to someone out there. And again, I'm very thankful. Happy New Year. This is Uche Lawrence. Be well.